For the first time in my whole entire adult life, I decided to track exactly how much I spend in a month and know exactly where my money is going to. So on the 1st of January 2025, I started tracking my expenses. I started recording my daily transaction from the 1st of January 2025 to the very last day, which is the 31st of January 2025. All of the expenses I did in the previous months were not recorded in this particular month. I did this because I have always wondered where my money is going to and how much I spend as a single girl living alone in Abuja, Nigeria. Sometimes we tend to not really know exactly where our money is going to. And in this 2025, I decided to be very intentional about knowing what exactly I spend my money on. And I am so happy I was able to do that. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how much I spent in January 2025 and also encourage you to track your own expenses and know where your money is going to. That way, you'll be able to plan and it will help you to budget better. So, how did I achieve this? I did this by simply using the Note app on my iPhone. What I did was every day, at the end of every day when I come home, I impute every single thing I bought on my Note app with the date and the exact item I spent money on. For instance, if I bought even a bottle of water in during the day, I will impute it in that particular notes pad. And at the end of the month, what I did was to calculate everything in categories and I put everything down here on my system, and I'm going to be sharing everything with you in this video. I hope you enjoy watching, and I hope at the end of this video you're able to learn one or two and decide to also track your own expenses. So guys, like I said, I have categorized everything I spent on into several categories, about 9 categories, and I'm going to be sharing it with you right away. I'm going to be looking at my laptop. This is exactly the spreadsheet I used. I just used my Excel to draft this out. Like I mentioned earlier, I use my notepad, the notepad on my iPhone to record everything, and at the end of the month I put everything together just like this. So we are going to be diving right into the video, and guys, pardon me because I'm going to be looking down at my laptop while I tell you exactly how much I spent in January of 2025. So the number one I have on my list right now is food slash groceries. These are the food that I made at home. Like I went to the market, bought things and cooked. I did meal prep last month, which actually made the figure a little bit higher. So for food and grocery in January of 2025, I spent a total of 60,160 naira. Like I mentioned, I did meal prep and I'm not going to be able to consume everything in January. So even this month, February, I'm still eating some of the things I made from January 2025. So the total I spent on food and grocery in January 2025 is 60,160 naira. Number two category I have here is transportation. So this is the total amount I spent on transportation. I spent 24,600 naira on transportation. That is commuting myself from my house to work and to church. I didn't even go out throughout January. I didn't go anywhere except the dates that I vlogged for you guys. I didn't go anywhere except work and church. So on transportation, I spent a total of 24,600 naira. And the next I have here is eat out. This is the amount of money I spent in buying food on days I don't get to take food to work. And for that I have a total of 17,050 naira. For the most part of January, I took food to work and I didn't really get to eat out a lot. And mind you, for the month of January, for like 2 weeks, I think work resumed in January on the 6th. Yes, work resumed on the 6th of January. So for the transportation, it started from the 6th of January, which is why it is 24,600. And for eating out, I didn't go to work the first week of January, obviously. So for eating out, it is a total of 17,060 naira. And the next one I have here is data and airtime. For my data and airtime, I spent a total of 8,000 naira. This is for call and browsing for the whole of January. I believe this is very fair. The next one I have here is water. For water, I spent a total of 12,820 naira on water. I use Seaway water, this bottled water, that's what I drink at home. So I bought a couple of packs for the month of January, and I don't think I finished everything in January, sha. So some of the bottled water I bought, I still had to drink some of them in February. So the next item I spent on is gas. To fill my gas, I spent a total of 7,500. I use a 5 kg gas, so it doesn't really last. I fill my gas almost every month or even every month. So for January, I spent a total of 7,500 to fill my gas. And the next item I spent money on in January was for skincare. This includes things like my body cream, body wash, deodorants, and all of that. So in January, I spent a total of 30,900 on skincare. Some of these things I bought definitely will not finish in January. So like my cream now, I bought 2. For my soap, I also bought 2, perfume and all of those things. So in February, obviously, I don't think I'm going to buy anything skincare. So that's why for January it is 30,900. And I also bought detergent. That cost me 1,500. I also bought air freshener in January, and that cost me 2,000 naira. For toothpaste and toothbrush, which I bought in January, it cost me a total of 2,500 naira. Okay, so I hope you are taking note of this. At the end of it though, I'm going to put the total of everything I spent on the screen so that you can easily follow. So the next thing I bought in January is hair. I don't know if you've seen the video now. If you haven't seen it, the video is coming up later. In January, I bought hair from my sister, and everything that has to do with that hair, the cost of the hair, the cost of transporting the hair from Delta to Abuja, and some of the products I have to apply to the hair to make it look good, everything costs 276,000 naira for the hair. And you need to know that this is not something that is recurrent. Okay, for instance, I'm not going to buy hair every single month. So for hair, I spent 276,000 naira on the hair. Okay, and in January also, I had to go and retouch my hair. I applied relaxer to my hair, and just to maintain my hair. And that cost me a total of 4,600, both for the relaxer and the workmanship of the stylist that retouched my hair for me. So everything cost a total of 4,600 naira. And in January, on the day I went out for that date with my partner, I had to stretch my hair. My hair, I had to take it for stretching, and the stylist collected 1,500 to stretch my hair. And in January, I also did some shopping. I bought some clothes. See, I'm not someone that really splurge on clothes. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I wear my clothes for a very long time. Before this January, I think the last time I actually bought clothes was December of 2023. Yes, the last time I actually bought clothes was December 2023. So this particular month of January, I got some clothes, and that cost me a total of 85,000 naira for clothes. And for January also, I gifted my partner, because of course January, the next month was February, and he wanted something for Valentine, and I had to get it for him. I did that in January, so that is not going to appear in my February expenses anymore. So I got a gift for my partner that cost a total of 38,000 naira. And The next thing I spent money on in January was yellow card. I planned a trip. I wanted to take a trip this January, but the trip did not end up holding, so I eventually canceled the trip. But I got my yellow card, and that cost a total of 8,000 naira. Okay, I also got a book in January. Let me see. I got this book in January. I haven't read this book, but I got it, and that cost me a total of 3,000 naira. And in my compound, one day we're just told that the pumping machine was not functional. Everybody has to pay 3,000 naira each, and I paid my own portion of 3,000 naira. And yeah, I paid 3,000 for water in the whole compound for the pumping machine. And one day I went to the market, I saw spoon and plate that I liked, and I picked it up, and that cost just 3,500. For my health, I went for some checkup, and I spent a total of 9,700 naira. And guys, for miscellaneous, I spent a total of 1,000. Let me confirm that. Yes, I spent a total of 1,700 on miscellaneous. Anyways, for miscellaneous, I spent a total of 1,700. So that is basically everything I spent my money on, and we are going to go to the total. But before we go to the total, I would like to say some things you see on this particular list are not things that would occur every single time. It's not something that I would spend on every single month. Okay, for instance, the yellow card is not every month I buy book. It's not every month that something spoils in the compound that they say we should contribute. It's not every time I gift my partner or gift anybody, and it's not every time I buy hair. Let's talk about the total of everything I spent. So with everything I've mentioned, that brings the total amount I spent in January of to a whopping total amount of 601,030 naira. So the amount I spent in January as a single girl living alone in Abuja is 601,000 naira. Yes, 601,030, 601,030 naira. Okay, so I know that is a lot of money. The amount is really high, and I can say that the things that made that amount that high is, number one, the hair I bought. This hair is not something I do every month. It's just me. I decided to gift myself this January, and yeah, 270,000 for hair. And I don't shop for clothes every time, which is 85,000. So I would say that the thing that are really recurring, that would be recurring in my monthly expenses, is the food, groceries, transportation, eat out, data, water, gas, and probably skincare. Those are the things that will be recurring. The other ones are just something that came up I had to do in the month of January. And guys, I'm really excited that I was able to do this. At least I know exactly how much I spend as a single girl living alone, and that would also help me to check my expenses and know exactly where my money is going to, know what to cut down on, and know how to plan and budget my money better. Okay, for the month of February, I've already started recording my transactions for the month of February, and who knows, I might also come and gist you guys exactly how much I spent. This is something I also encourage you to try out, so that you will know exactly where your money is going to. Let us be very honest. If I did not take note of everything I was spending daily, there's no way I would have known that I had spent up to 600,000 naira in 1 month. So I really feel I'm so happy that I did this, and I pray I really want to keep up doing this, so that I know where my money is going and how I'm spending my money. Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do let me know, do you have a particular template you use to track your expenses? I believe with time I'm going to get a very good template that works better and works more than the notes I use on my phone. If you have anyone you can recommend for me, do let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye guys.